Yo, gang, you give life a new meaning when you dreaming. It's your boy Dream.
It's Mr. Spin on a check just to get fly. Spin on a check just to get high as Cashman. We back with another video.
What we doing, Brody?
The Tales of Toronto, the crazy story of Flippa. Who Flippa?
You think he gonna flip?
No, I don't think he flipped. But
You think that's his name?
He probably flipped.
You're not gonna tell him?
Huh?
Rat 9?
No.
Right.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Yo, gang, before we start this video, man, hit that subscribe button. Feel me? Hit that like button. It helps us with the algorithms, man. Follow us on the gram. Life is Saint, Cashman CEO.
You think he a rapper? You think he's just a regular person? Like a regular Uda or something?
I'm gonna say he a rapper. Y'all ready?
I just think he might just be a Uda.
A Uda? Yeah. Y'all ready? You ready? Let's get it.
A man in his 50s has died, and the search is on for the gunman following a shooting in Etobicoke.
Here, there are a dozen markings or so on the ground there.
It appears that it was targeted. It was certainly crowded at that time, and there's a lot of people that would have left before police arrived.
Suspect approached the deceased. The fact that there were multiple shots fired, it would be considered overkill in the situation. Deceased ran into the restaurant to get away from the bullets, and the waiting car drove away with the suspect in the passenger seat. So clearly, this looks to be a planned shooting.
Niggas start playing Vaughn.
What'd you say?
I said niggas start playing King Von. You know it's gonna be some demon shit.
I'm ready. Oh, this is top 5.
2 minutes from the food bank.
Oh,
bam.
that's what
Okay,
that
you
is?
better.
Top 5 was arguing with Doobie one day on academic shit.
Isn't that Drake man?
I'm not too familiar with. Say that again?
I said I thought Flippa was a famous rapper.
Is he?
You talking about
You-
Flippa Having?
Oh, okay.
You talking about from Atlanta, right?
Possibly, but Flippa, that name is familiar. Like,
Is he from Canada?
probably not.
Yeah, this one from Canada. But I know top 5. You say he with Drake?
Yeah, he
He
signed.
cool
That's what BP was yelling. Oh yeah, he was like, yeah, Doobie cool, but he not better than top 5. That's what he kept saying.
Yo, put in the comments who better, top 5 or Doobie?
I got Doobie.
I got Doobie too. Let's get it. I want to see it in the comments right now, gang. Let's get it.
I'm 2 minutes from the food bank. Bam. Okay, you better be there. I'm packing the next white boy
From
there.
the
at
food
that
bank?
Switched up like Glock, you ain't pressing, nigga. You from Make Believe, and Mike.
Said Mohiuddin, better known as Flippa, came to Toronto from Somalia when he was an infant and settled in impoverished Lawrence Heights, specifically Jumble, which is where his parents raised him and his 5 siblings. Jumble has birthed some rare talent, from the lyrical and deep rap group Ghetto Concept to the loud and expressive drill artist named Top 5.
We see him, we chase him. They got my bro for 2 cases.
Its energy has even reached the likes of Drake, who named his 2015 tour after the neighborhood. However, with the rising popularity and with gang violence rising at a historic rate in a city known for its safety, Jumble quickly imploded.
Toronto's Lawrence Heights is home to families who want their children to be safe.
It's also an area plagued by senseless gun violence and criminals with no regard for innocent lives. CTV's Miranda Anthistle's in the community tonight, where residents continue to gather to share their experiences. Miranda?
That's right, Ken. So we have heard this week from politicians and from police about how to tackle gun violence. In fact, just a minute ago, the chief of police walked into this meeting, but this neighborhood...
Well, 6 people dead, 41 injured. What, niggas shot up a building or something?
That was in one day.
I'm assuming. Look what it say. I see.
Hood really wants to hear from
the history
people.
of the jungle.
They've experienced a very violent summer so far this year, and they say they want to hear from those experiencing the trauma of gun violence. On July 15th, just before 5 p.m., 2 men opened fire near Allen Road and Rance Avenue. This would be the first of 9 shootings within a 3-week period in and around the Lawrence Heights neighborhood.
As Jumble was up in flames, Flippa was all the way in Mississauga, Ontario, robbing banks. In September of 2013, the local Sauga news station posted a picture of a 24-year-old Flippa and alleged he walked into a bank just after 2:30 p.m. and handed the teller a note demanding cash. But when the teller pressed the panic button, he fled the bank. Flippa was arrested shortly after, but due to this being his first arrest, he managed to beat the case. However, his troubles were just beginning. By the middle of 2013, the city of Toronto was suffering. Gun violence was at an all-time high. The streets were flooded in historic downpours, and the mayor of the city was caught smoking crack.
There has been a serious accusation.
Not even weed, bro? Nah. You went all the way with it?
Nigga said smoking crack.
Come on, bro. You're doing your town bad, man.
Downpours, and the mayor of the city was caught smoking crack.
There has been a serious accusation from the Toronto Star that I use crack cocaine. I do not use crack cocaine, nor...
You can tell from the top. Feel me? You even tie your top up, feel me? Come on, son. You can tell.
It's been a tell that,
look at the haircut.
I do crack cocaine.
Feel me?
Yo.
Toronto Star that I use crack cocaine. I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine.
That's what somebody who do crack cocaine will say. You know what I mean? Just like that, in the same exact words.
Nor do I do crack cocaine.
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly.
What?
Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
In an
Nigga in the hood, you seen the last picture?
Of crack cocaine.
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly. Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
But you gotta see Shorty right here. Look at that eyebrow, bro. Look at that eyebrow. Look how that shit lift up. She go from biting her lips. Look.
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly. Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
In an infamous picture leaked by Gawker Media.
Look at Gangy. Look at Crody.
Just say he was with
Look at Crody.
He with them niggas.
Rob Ford is seen standing by three men: Anthony Smith, Mohammed Khattak, and Manir Kassim.
I would have never
all of which
that.
have ties to the infamous Dixon Bloods. On March 28, 2013, two of the men in the picture, Anthony Smith and Mohammed Khattak, would enter Low Key Lounge on King Street West to enjoy a night out. Once inside, Anthony would spot a familiar face staring at him with a menacing look. This person was Flippa. In publicly released court documents, it is alleged that Anthony and Flippa had prior beef and Anthony was looking to hurt Flippa. So as soon as Anthony seen him, he began tapping out a series of text messages on his phone to a man named Libin Siad, a leader of the Dixon City Bloods. Libin replied to Anthony with just two words: halal meat. This was the signal for Anthony to kill Flippa. Minutes later, Anthony...
God bless you. God bless you.
God bless you.
That nigga said he halal meat. I never heard nobody say that.
Me neither.
That shit's crazy.
Halal meat. This was the signal for Anthony to kill Flippa. Minutes later, Anthony, Mohammed Khattak, and a man named Santana confronted Flippa and another man outside the club. It did not go well.
One by one, friends come to pay their respects to the family of Anthony Smith.
He's a big part of the community. He's really going to be missed. He was a brother.
The 21-year-old Seneca College student and talented basketball player leaves behind a grieving mother, younger brother, and two sisters.
Anthony brought nothing but joy, smiles.
It's that smile sister Camelia Taylor watched walk out her front door Wednesday for the last time.
I got the phone call at 3:30.
Taylor says her brother's friends called her to say Smith had been shot. She rushed to see him at St. Mike's Hospital.
Looking at him, I didn't accept it.
Smith and a friend had been shot several times after leaving a club on King Street West. He died a few hours later.
When attempting to confront Flippa, Anthony was shot in the left side of the head and died instantly, while Mohammed was shot in the chest and neck. Santana managed to escape and quickly contacted Dixon Blood leader Libin Siad and told him what had happened. Santana made it clear that Flippa was not the shooter. Instead, it was his right-hand man, Nisar Hashimi. Shortly after the shooting, Nisar was arrested by Toronto police and charged with first-degree murder. After more than a year of deliberation, Nisar pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter and aggravated assault and is currently on year 8 of his 9-year sentence.
Oh, he about to be out?
Flippa, on the other hand, fled to Alberta shortly after the shooting, where he would find himself in more trouble.
Bullet holes in a windshield in a garage, casings on a driveway. Investigators search for clues in our city's latest shooting. One neighbor's surveillance camera captured the moment a man was targeted by rapid gunfire. Police confirm he was struck multiple times and is seen crawling away. One inspector can only say The victim is known to police, and it's not believed to be a random act.
On June 2nd, 2015, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, also known as the RCMP, were called to Richard Street at 6 a.m. where a 32-year-old Fort McMurray man appeared to be suffering from a gunshot wound. 1 week later, on July 10th, the RCMP responded to a report of gunshots in the area of Charles Avenue and Hainault Street. And
wait, don't tell me Flippa going on a rampage like this. Don't tell me this is all Flippa right here. Alright, back to Flippa.
And found a 59-year-old man dead in a car riddled with bullet holes. Hainault Street, and found a 59-year-old man dead in a car riddled with bullet holes. Police believed both shootings were not only related, but targeted hits as well. The RCMP immediately launched an investigation, and in just 3 months they announced that Flippa had been arrested and would subsequently be charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of careless use of a firearm, 1 count of possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, and 2 counts of discharging a firearm with intent.
Damn.
That makes rap shit. Will be released in less than 3 years.
Mr. 2 cases.
Smoking dope, getting tree high. The bitch I'm with, yeah, she buy. I keep the 100, got a lot of hunters. Use your hip hop, I put dollars on it. More money, more problems. Can't sleep and need codeine. And I'm smoking like a dolphin. I hang with pokers, they be poking. Shit chested, it's not checked. I shoot a nigga ain't as
Jerome Bell, aka Murda, is a rapper reigning from the West End of Toronto, specifically the Scarlett Road and Dundas Street West area. This area is known as Shots Up Mafia territory, and in publicly released court documents, it is alleged that Shots Up Mafia is a criminal organization involved in numerous robberies and drug trafficking incidents which were used to fund its criminal activities and acquiring firearms to protect its members and turf. Rival crews include Alexandra Park,
See the shotgun? Oh my god, he's using that like this is his own. Yeah. That's tough.
Wood and Jungle, all of which refer to themselves as Shots Down Mafia. It is alleged that Murda was originally the creator of Shots Up Mafia, while his older cousin Shaquille Bell, aka M. Locke, ran the group's illegal operations. Fast forward to 2013, Murda began a rap career that would immediately flourish as his songs reached hundreds of thousands of views, and at one point, 1 million. Everything seemed to be going well for Murda. However, with his face now becoming more and more recognizable, it wouldn't take long before trouble came knocking.
Blue and white balloons are tied to a post on Randolph Avenue. At its base, flowers, candles, and spots of blood. This is where 22-year-old Jerome Bell was shot dead yesterday.
He's a great person. Everybody loved him.
Homicide investigators believe the victim...
Bro couldn't even enjoy his rap career. As soon as he started getting popular, they got him out of here. That's crazy.
Victim was targeted.
Any idea why he would ever be targeted?
I have no idea. I have no idea. None. If anyone knows, let us know.
Bell was one of 4 siblings, an aspiring rapper who went by the nickname Murda. His sisters say they've been receiving countless messages of support from his friends.
Murda was one of the favorite people I've ever met. So funny, humble, and smart. And I've been blessed to have to share amazing memories.
March 19th, 2019, Murda is executed while standing outside of his aunt's home. Months would pass by without any updates on the case, but social media was buzzing. Rival gangs were quick to diss, while fans were quick to speculate.
Yo, Money Man!
Please, send Addy.
You are a big in the world. No way.
Bro, I'll show you that.
I'll call Flippa right now. There's no way the PO guys.
Who's Debbie gang for life?
The fucking you. I'm gonna cut off your
Tell
hand.
Flippa, he's a goof.
Don't do that.
I Murda. Now we come in and she put out my.
I don't know what you're talking about. She's a rat. Money Man. She pulled RP Murda. I don't even know who the fuck Murda is. If you ask me. I just know my weeds right here. I just saw my weed right here.
Yo, GG.
I got. What's in my weed right now? What's in my weed right now? This is called the murder. I'm not talking about that guy.
Oh man.
Fast forward 8 months later to November, a bitter Southern Ontario gangland war that goes back decades was reigniting. For years, the Camisso family lorded over the city's underworld with enforcers stretching from Italy across southern Ontario. One of the many enforcers of the Camisso crime family included Antonio Fiorda. Fiorda, nicknamed Scratch because of his scratchy, graveled voice, was a husband and father of 2 children, an owner of a large collection of vintage muscle cars, and an avid denizen at fitness clubs. In 1996, Fiorda was charged after Toronto police seized an AK-47, a pipe bomb, and other explosives from a North York home he owned, a charge he disputed. He was eventually convicted and served prison time, but once released, those close to him were led to believe he would never return to the life of crime, but instead, he became more careful. Fiorda was involved in a lot of the underworld beefs between high-ranking crime figures spanning over decades. For instance, he was in a dispute with Albanian gangsters who wanted to control Toronto nightclubs in the
Albanians don't play. Them boys don't play at all.
He was in a dispute with Albanian gangsters who wanted to control Toronto nightclubs in the early 2000s, which led to a sit-down between revered mob bosses to settle their differences. In more recent years, however, it is alleged Fiorda was assigned by a senior mafia boss, who he would accompany to court and other public appearances, to be an enforcer for a high-ranking member of the Camisso organization, who had been the victim of a home invasion robbery by armed men in 2016. This man was Joseph Catrappa, and not only was he an ally of the Camisso crime family, but a rival of Nick Nero, a convicted cocaine smuggler for the Sinaloa cartel. On November 4th, 2019, Fiorda was asked to meet Joseph Catrappa at the upscale Via Allegro Ristorante across from Sherway Gardens. According to recently released court documents, it was alleged that this restaurant was just a few kilometers away from where members of the Sinaloa cartel stayed when they were conducting business with Catrappa's rival, Nick Nero. Catrappa arrived to the restaurant first and waited at the front for Fiorda to arrive, which he eventually did. According to investigators, CCTV showed that Catrappa seen Fiorda arrive and went to approach him, but he quickly ran back after hearing a gunshot.
A man in his 50s has died, and the search is on for the gunman following a shooting in Etobicoke. Let's go live to CP24's Miranda Anthistle, who's at the Queensway and North Queen Street with the very latest on this investigation.
It appears that it was targeted.
It was a very busy time of day. A number of people walking around the plaza and in the plaza's parking lot.
Lying with his head on the curb, and there were 2 nice women there trying to comfort and help him. And he was obviously in a lot of pain.
50-year-old Antonio Fiorda was gunned down. In broad daylight, a Ford pickup truck pulled up right beside Fiorda while a lone gunman hopped out the passenger side. He shot Fiorda 9 times before running back in the truck and driving off. Fiorda died at the scene. His death would remain a mystery for months as nobody came out to provide information. But in the meantime, the underground Toronto drill scene was heating up. 2 weeks after the death of Fiorda, jungle rappers Top 5 and Flippa would drop a brutal track titled Drill Some More. This song caused the spark in a series of debates discussing whether serious concerns have been raised indicating that drill music causes violence through the use of
That boy academics.
Nigga said drill some more.
I showed Top 5 my house, my cars. He said, act, bro. I want to live like you. I don't want to be here beefing. I'm trying to get out of this situation. Academics said it's unfortunate that rap at times we had mad graphic. You gotta beef just to get out.
That is true though. You probably do gotta beef with a couple of niggas just to get out, just to get popping. But you really don't want to do that shit though.
All publicity is good publicity.
True, I feel that.
Lyrics and imagery which glorify gang crime and illicit activities. It is commonly asserted that drill content often contains specific references to individuals and groups in a way that causes violent acts.
Also, breaking news from Toronto police this afternoon, who have now arrested a man considered Canada's most wanted. Police say
They got Flippa, man.
That nigga just crashed.
Almost exactly 1 year after the death of Shots Up rapper Murda, Flippa was arrested in connection to his death. 2 months later, Toronto News would drop another bomb as they reported that Flippa, along with the late Driftwood-affiliated rapper YS, were implicated in the death of mob enforcer Tony Scratch. It would take 2 years for just one of Flippa's cases to reach the Superior Court of Canada, and that was the Tony Scratch case. In a rare sequence of events, deliberations would last just 2 months as the Crown prosecutor began trial by providing an abundance of evidence which pointed to Flippa being the driver of the getaway truck and YS being the shooter. Surveillance video at the scene showed the late YS ran after Fiorda and fired 12 shots at him, striking him 9 times. He then jumped back into the truck and Flippa drove off. Coincidentally, the Crown prosecutor also noted that the incident just happened to be witnessed by undercover OPP officers watching the restaurant as part of an unrelated investigation. One of the officers followed the pickup truck onto Highway 427 while getting a good look at the driver and the license plate before he lost him. Using surveillance video, police were able to recreate the path of the 2 men to a Tim Hortons, then an Uber to a downtown Toronto condo complex where Flippa was arrested several days later. Found on Flippa's phone the day he was arrested was Fiorda's home address, the kinds of cars he drove, the fact that he walked with a cane, and that he went to an LA Fitness gym every weekday from 8 a.m. to noon. The evidence also showed
They was stalking that nigga.
I knew he went to the gym.
They was stalking that nigga.
It's like, go get your little workout on, my boy.
They said that nigga had a cane, what kind of car he drive. They was stalking his ass.
They wanted him bad.
Flippa was following Fiorda at the LA Fitness regularly. The police also found several incriminating videos and texts, including a message exchange about the murder in which one of the people says they paid us $60. A video taken the day after the murder and played to the jury shows Flippa and YS celebrating as Flippa fans out $100 bills and talks about $60K. Another video shows Flippa holding bundles of bills in a tall stack. The Crown alleges this is the money given as payment for murdering Fiorda. Flippa urged police that they had the wrong guy, and his lawyer, Dirk Durstein, argued none of the surveillance footage and other evidence used by the Crown clearly identified Flippa as the perpetrator. Prosecutors Mike Wilson and Sean Horgan argued footage of the getaway driver matched Flippa's height, build, unique braided hairstyle, facial hair, and pigeon-toed walk. When discussing the phone with all the incriminating evidence, Flippa insisted the phone was a loaner from YS, who he labeled as a drug dealer with multiple burner phones. YS was killed 1 month after executing Fiorda, and his death is still a mystery to this day. Deliberations would last just 3 weeks as the abundance of evidence would assist the jury in quickly reaching a verdict. Said Mohiuddin aka Flippa would be found guilty of first-degree murder.
Don't hang around me if you ain't know me. I'm God. I'm God. I sit around in the room all day like, I wanna fill up these odds.
What the fuck?
Damn. Nah, this shit's crazy. There was a lot of deaths going on.
Some mob shit.
Feel me? Yo, keep tapping us into the videos, man. Keep letting us know what's going on out there. I mean, that was crazy. That was crazy. Niggas are dying. Like, Flippa was on a hunt.
Wait, you know we're not live?
Nah, I know. We recording though.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm bugging.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm bugging.
You tired?
Yeah.
What time is it? Yeah, it's about that time. But yo, gang, feel me? Keep putting us on. Keep dropping them songs and videos in the comments. Follow us on the gram. Life is Saint. Follow Cashman CEO, my fault.
Cashman CEO.
With
two eyes.
2 eyes. Hit that subscribe button. You already know the vibes. We give life a new meaning when you're dreaming. It's your boy, Dream.
And this is spin all check just to get fly. You spin all check just to get high as Cashman.